Hello and thanks for tuning into the channel. I bought some new fish and I'm also transferring some fish from the 29 gallon to the 90 gallon. So this is as good a time as any to discuss acclimating fish. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it, and we will check on the fish moments after and we'll show some video from the following day. We're getting a look at the 90 gallon tank there on the left and the 135 on the right. 135 is for alpha males. We will not be putting the new fish in there. The new fish are going to be going in this one right here. This will be a much more suitable home because it's all medium-sized cichlids, juveniles, and females. And I got 7 or 8 of these guys picked out that I'm going to also put in there, and that should benefit both tanks. The 29 won't be as cramped anymore. So we're going to look at the fish here in the bags. There's a bumblebee cichlid, couple 3 actually, electric yellow cichlids or yellow labs, and 2 electric blue Johanni. I think everyone's going to be really comfortable in there, and introducing a bunch at one time as well, which always makes it a smoother transition. And I really felt that tank needed some more color, some more blues and some more yellows. We've got some, I want to say Demonosi, but it's actually Demosoni. And there's one fish in there that I'm not sure what it is. We'll take a look at him later. He might be a Demosoni or an ACI. And there's also another OB in there. Getting a look at some of these guys, the 29 who are about to transfer over. And I've raised these fish from the time they're fry. I know exactly who the parents are, which is a new fun part of the hobby, raising fish from the time they hatch. And there's a couple in there that I think have a lot of potential. So what I like to do is pour the bags from the tropical fish store into clean containers. I rinse the containers out, of course, just with water. Never use any chemicals. And these are those travel containers you can get from Amazon or whatnot that have the little tops with air holes in them. I don't float bags on the top of the aquarium. I know that's a tried and true method. Get a look at the OB there on the left. He's very colorful, not showing it now, but as soon as I put him in the 90 gallon, you're going to see it. Anyway, I don't float bags on the top. You don't have to do it. I know it's the tried and true method, and people have done it for so many years, and maybe when you were 8 years old, your grandpa said that's the way you have to do it, but you do not have to float bags. I take a clean pitcher, and this is a pitcher dedicated just to my fish tanks. I don't pour beer in there or anything. And I add some water from the tank that they're going into the container that they're being held in. That way you get 2 things happening at once, or maybe more than 2 things. You get the pH to balance and the temperature. If you float bags, you're not going to get any help with the pH acclimation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the small bucket on the right there directly into my 90 gallon tank, and the other fish I'm going to pour them over that bucket so the water goes into that bucket and the fish land in the net, and then I'm going to submerge the net and with my offhand put the fish in there. I'm not worried about mixing the water from the 29 gallon combination of its water with the 90 gallon. You don't have to be obsessive. I know my own tanks. The water is the exact same in there. Same temperature, same type of plants, all coming from the same source you see right here from the sink. And keep in mind, cichlids are pretty robust fish. They can handle a slight change. If you're dealing with tetras or guppies or mollies, everything probably has to be perfect or the fish are going to die. But they're not as strong as cichlids. So you don't have to obsess. Just try to follow the rules. Make the acclimation as smooth as possible. Minimize the change. But like I said, a little bit of water from my 29 gallon does not pose a threat. So carefully pouring the fish in there. Now that was easy to do with one hand. Doing the whole acclimating via the net, that I couldn't do with one hand. So we're just going to cut ahead to where the other fish that were in those 2 rectangular containers are going to be in here. So the new fish are moving around. That's one of the really impressive ones from the 29 gallon. There's 2 that I really identified from the time they were just a few weeks early. We're going to get a closer look at them, and I have really high hopes for how those ones are going to turn out. So I'm putting food in here immediately. Just get everyone stuffed with food and happy, and it also keeps them busy. They're going to sift around looking for the food. And I put a generous amount in there. especially in this particular case. Another thing you don't have to obsess about is uneaten food. They're going to find almost all of it, close to 100% of it, maybe 100% of it. They're going to sift through all the leaves and everything. And when you have a tank this size, a little bit of uneaten food is not going to do some ammonia spike skyrocket thing that you have to be afraid of and test your water or anything. And there's so many plants in here, they're going to absorb a lot of ammonia anyway. And I've got a lot of beneficial bacteria in my media. So just another thing, you don't have to obsess so much about a couple of pellets that you're not sure what happened to them. Just don't worry about those kind of things. As long as you're on top of your water changes, you should be fine. So there is one of the ones that I like from the 29. We're going to get a good look at him and the other one. There's one that is really unique. He's got some really cool pattern on his dorsal fins that we'll see. See some of the new ones over here. We got the bumblebee there on the right side. It's like a whole new galaxy for him and some of these other ones that came from a 20-gallon tank inside a store. They probably can't believe. They probably didn't know the world was this big. There is the one that I wasn't sure what it was. It's the shape of its head is like a Demosoni, but the stripes, if it had stripes, if they're faded away. We'll get another look at him later. You see an electric blue Johanni there, or Johanni, I'm not sure how you say it. There is the new OB. That wasn't showing his color in the tank. And there is one of the ones I've already raised there. You just saw there on the top. The two Demosoni there, the vertical stripes. Now they're herbivores, so I'm going to make sure that I always put some veggie pellets in first, so those guys get their herbivore food. There is one of the two from the 29 that was really sparkly and beautiful, that yellow one. You see him there on the lower left. And now the 29-gallon looks a little more comfortable for these guys, a little less busy in there. So as I said, it benefited both tanks. I think we're still at day one right here. And there's the Demosoni. They may munch on the plants a little bit as well. I mean, they are herbivores, so there's always going to be something for them to snack on. The cichlids don't eat Anubias too much, but I guess they munch on things in the leaves and whatnot. You see the electric Johannis there. There's one of the three electric yellows. And the new OB. Really nice looking. Not as nice as the one I raised, which is, if you follow my channel, it's my best alpha male son. Right there. That's Diamond's son. And I think he's got some alpha male and tank boss potential in the near future. Everyone's still sifting around, excited because of the food. Here's one of the other two that I mentioned. Look at the pattern on his dorsal fins. We'll get another look at him later. Don't worry, we'll get a closer look. One of the Demosoni right there. And I like getting different looking fish. It really adds to the tank when you have different colors, different varieties, slightly different shapes. There's one of the beautiful ones from the 29-gallon. Getting another look at the Demosoni. Electric yellow there on the bottom left. Electric yellows are a little bit odd compared to other cichlids. They just kind of behave a little different. When you have experience owning them, you're going to notice that for sure. Everyone I've talked to says the same thing. There's electric blue Johanni. Little narrower, a little more streamlined. Now there is the one, if you know what kind of fish this is, please post it in the comments. I'm not entirely sure. Seems to be an herbivore because he munches on the plants a lot. right there, dead center, there is the second of the two OBs. That's another one of Diamond Sun's, but I used to think the mother was Storm Shadow, my beautiful white female cichlid, but I think the mother might actually be right there. You could see her above him. That was Snake Eyes, because there's a lot of charcoal in this one. It's got a purple diamond too on the cheek, and there's just a unique blend of colors on the fins that I've never seen before. So I can't wait to see that fish full grown. I think that might be the nicest looking fish that I have, or has the potential to be. Gonna look at the bumblebee again. I'm hoping that he's going to show more black as he gets older, because when these ones have more black and less yellow, they look really cool. Kind of reminds me of Wolverine from the comics, the comic look, not the movie look. And here is the one that I couldn't identify. We're going to get some closer looks here, so this is as good a chance to identify this fish. Is it a Demosoni with the stripes faded? It's got the same head shape, same color combination, and sort of seems to be an herbivore because he's munching all over those plants. That's not definitive, but it could be indicative of that. So if you know what kind of fish that is, please let me know. We're getting a really good look. So if somebody is good at identifying, that should do it right there. We're looking under the blue lights now, the night lights. Whole different feel, whole different look. And I have these on timers, so this happens every night, and I think it sort of puts them on a clock because they know an hour or so after this it's bedtime. So it kind of helps them with their cycle. So that's how I acclimate fish. I don't use bags. I don't float bags. I do the poor acclimation method. Takes me about 30 minutes. I keep adding water every 10 minutes, maybe 3 intervals, and then I put the fish in there. Thumbs up and subscribe, please. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll start working on a video. Hopefully have one done for next week.